What it is, what it is, what it is. Hey, man. First and foremost, you know, giving praise to the Most High. You did. This your boy, this your host, Arthur Chill Fetty, Arthur Chill Fetty Podcast. Now, we're going to touch on a major subject. Why do men step outside the household? Basically, why do men cheat, right? Now, you're dealing with a two-edged sword. And the way I see it, just my opinion, if you step outside your household, evidently something in the kitchen ain't adding up. All the ingredients ain't adding up. The flavor is not tasting right when the food is served. So the reason I see it is that in the back of a man's mind, he done caught a whiff of something and the milk ain't clean. You did? Now, it's just my opinion now. So I know I'm going to get some comments and blase squaze about this, about that. You did? But however, if you're taking care of business in the household, the man shouldn't have no reason to step outside of the household, you know? So I've been looking, you know what I'm saying, doing a little research, a little investigation, my own little due diligence, and it says that 80% of relationships with men and women seems to go sour. Number one reason is finance. The second reason is infidelity from a belief that the man thinks that he is not satisfying the female counterpart in the household because of the simple fact the female gives out a certain aura, a type of body language, some types of words that may hit sharply, and the man take those words to heart. So they look for pleasure to fulfill a void elsewhere. Me, what I learned is that you have to be very disciplined when you are in a relationship with your significant other. And the reason why I can say this, if you look on my page, my Facebook page, you can see that my mom, my father, you know, they just had a 50-year anniversary. And I learned a lot of my lifestyle on how to deal with, you know, women from my father. And I learned how to carry myself, in basically a humble way. And what you would notice about me is that I'm not gonna really be a person that have a lot of drama on my path, on my journey with women. The simple fact is because I know how to carry myself, and I choose wisely, but at the same time, some choices I made have, let's just say, made me more wiser on my path. But right now, I'm a single guy, and the way I see it is that I may be single for a little minute, because a lot of women today in society try to they try to base their relationships on what they see from a social media aspect. And me, I think that's kind of let's just say not the way to do it. Dating is cool, and the way I see it, you have to do your due diligence on research with your partner. You have to really dig in deep. Just because you know this person for 3 months, 6 months, a year, doesn't really actually show you who they really are. Like I say, my parents been married for 50 years, and before I was born. You know what I'm saying? And they still learning each other, and that's just the way life goes. So you have to realize it's a lot of things you're gonna have to put up with dealing with your partner if y'all looking to go that extra mile, if y'all see each other as soulmates. And some things you're gonna have to forgive, some things you're gonna have to forget, and some things you're gonna have to learn how to balance. Because I learned a lot of this here from just looking at my parents. I be looking at a lot of different, people relationships in society. 99% of the times, it may seem good on paper, and 80% of the time, couples show you what they want to show you, but they're not gonna go behind the scenes and show you what's really popping. Because if a man have to step outside of his household and go and seek pleasure somewhere else and get caught in the act of trying to seek that pleasure, is something very wrong. Very, very wrong. Now, I don't know the circumstances of what's going on inside of the household, but what I can tell you is that 1 plus 1 is not equaling 2. You did? So, to take a step back from a biblical perspective, sometimes it's just best to stay celibate. You know, that way you can't point the finger. That way they can't point the finger. And you can just walk your journey and your path and learn about who you are as a person and how can you help bring value to the relationship with the person you're trying to be with, because what you're trying to be with a person is have longevity. Because when you jump from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, sometimes you got to look in the mirror. You did. So that's why I wanted y'all to really tap in to this, because it's really deep. And they say finance is the number one cause of breakups, which I kind of agree. But we have to understand that money, currency, is energy. So what you putting into this world, what you putting into society, what type of energy you bringing, you know what I'm saying, will actually show your path through the economic situation that you may be facing with your significant other. And you can't be influenced by the Joneses. You can't be influenced by the negative current that may flow through your household. Sometimes you got a clean house. And the way I see it is that whatever in your household or whatever your surroundings may be, it may be feeding you a certain kind of frequency. And if you tap into that frequency, evidently you're gonna end up on the wrong path. Because I done seen good guys, good women go out with their friends and end up destroyed. All because of a certain frequency from a certain, friend or for a partner that influenced them to make that wrong turn. And that wrong turn end up messing up a whole household. And now they have to start back over from zero. So that's just to make a long story short. So one choice, one decision can ruin a whole lifetime that you could have had with you and your partner. So if you consider living by biblical principles, you're not going to be perfect, but however, you'll still be disciplined enough to make right choices. So I just wanted to come through and give you some deep knowledge, you know what I'm saying, on the things from my perspective, my experience. This your host, Arthur Chill Fetty. I appreciate y'all tapping into the podcast and, just think on some things and never just react out of emotion. Think it through, because you don't want to mess up something good for something you're only getting for 5 or 10 minutes. Like, subscribe, tell a friend so they'll tell another friend. This your host, Arthur Chill Fetty. Just been served. Peace.